fellow Minecrafters, Gearsaw Studios here. Today I'm going to show off 1.18 Experimental Snapshot 3, where they've made a ton of changes after a long break. However, before I begin, remember, please like and subscribe. It would really help me out. So, with that, on to the investigation. So, here I am on Reddit, and also there's a thunderstorm going on as I record, so sorry about the thunder. Basically, this is a very long thing, but basically they've made it so that microbiomes are now more common, but now they're correct. So no more badlands in the middle of the plains. Red sand is back. A new biome called Stony Peaks has been added, so that way jungles don't look so weird with these snowy mountains. Beaches are now more inclined to show up on flat coastlines rather than hilly areas, and stone shores are less common. Aquifers go deeper and have more variation. Goats now spawn in the new biomes. Desert temples spawn on the surface now. Swamps are less likely to be in cold or dry biomes. Eroded badlands no longer create floating pillars on the top of water. Grass no longer generates underwater. Reduce the risk of incorrect surface placement, such as grass patches in deserts. Reduce the risks of river biomes generating in mountain gorges, so no more high elevation rivers. And mob spawning is now more closely to 1.17, as in they'll spawn almost exactly the same at Y64 now. And now everything has a fair share of mobs, so multiplayer servers are not going to be barren of mobs. There's a couple more things, but it will take a while to go through. So that's the main gist of this. So, looking around at this terrain, it's looking kind of normal, but as you can see, more microbiomes, and the terrain looks a bit more like 1.17 rather than 1.18. But, of course, 1.18 is still here, which causes these massive aquifers, which is another change made, which I think is just a neat change to make these aquifers more prevalent and just generally cool looking. Looking on a bit further, everything's kind of the same, and this thunderstorm is really picking up, so headphone users, you might want to watch out, because this thunderstorm is pretty bad. So, looking around, normal terrain, but there's a lot more swamps generating, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'm okay with it. But let's look at other things inside this. Over here in this Badlands area, you can see red sand is generating again, because now not everything's a plateau, but this is a kind of strange Badlands, being very string-like. But you can see the shores are no longer completely stone, because now some normal beaches are generating, sometimes no beach generates like over there. And overall, the terrain is kind of just better now. But that's just another thing, and all of this is subject to change, including beaches and stuff. So, this is still a very nice build of 1.18. But let's look at other pieces. Over here, we have a new biome, the Stony Peaks. In this biome, what we have is just snow-capped peaks generation, but instead of snow, it's gravel and stone. I mean, there's just no snow. This azalea tree's right here looking kind of nice, but this biome is made so that way there's no more snow in these jungles. And another neat feature, emeralds are relatively easy to find here, because in the Stony Peaks, all the stone is exposed, which makes it prime site for mining. But there's, of course, other changes, including aquifers. So, after I give myself some night vision, let's look underground at some aquifers. So far, just some neat lush caves generation, but eventually we will notice some aquifers. But aquifers have also been made much more rare. But not actually that rare, but they're still rarer. So that way we don't have just tons of plain old aquifers generating, which is making it seriously hard to find some. But underwater cave here, and some lush caves here, but an aquifer has appeared, and this one's much more oblong and less different. Basically, they're going to be unique now instead of being all plain old same old, which is just another neat change. Also, sorry this video feels a little rushed. I did not notice that there's a new snapshot for 8 hours, because I thought it was going to come on a Wednesday. But either way, there isn't much changes to these caves. Just the aquifers have been changed, and that's about it. So, let's look at other things, if there are any. Over here in these snowy mountains, there has been a change where they have grass, but I don't see this change. All of it is still dirt, which confuses me. Possibly it wasn't actually implemented, but either way, there's some changes here. They're less likely to generate in flat areas, so you can see this place is much more mountainous. But it's not going to be generating in normal plains biomes now. Instead, they're going to generate in more hilly areas of the world, which makes it so you don't have your massive plains just ruined by a giant mountain in the middle of it, which I think is a good change. Still a little confused, but I can see now there's actually some grass generating. I thought it meant grass blocks, but now they have some grass, which is a neat thing, and under it there are grass blocks because they can't grow on snow to my knowledge, which just makes this biome a bit more complete and fleshed out. Sorry for the rushed video, but there isn't actually that much to cover that can really be observed in this video, and also this thunderstorm is really picking up and would ruin the video. So, with that, it's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, remember, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Also, changes to the outro will be coming next video. So, with that, take care, keep exploring, Gearsaw out.